Yeah.
All right.
Okay, friends. So this is our webinar on the Golden Touch One kit. And we're just going to go through this kit of 7 incredible oils for boosting immune system, making you stronger throughout the winter months that can kind of like attack the body. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk a little bit about how to use the oils on kids, how to use them on all the other bodies, and all the different ways we like to use them. But first, an intro. So we are recording this, so you'll be able to watch it back if you ever need to find it again. So no worries about that. But my disclaimer always is use your mama instinct. And even if you're not a mama, you still have that like instinct inside that's like, that's not for me. And maybe this thing is for me. So if we say something that sounds crazy to you, like put your oils on your throat or like in your throat, like drip your oils in your mouth, and you hate that, it's fine. Like you can hate it and just don't do it for your family or for yourself, because you have a special instinct within you that knows what's good for your body and what's not. So we use oils in all the crazy ways. And if you don't want to do that, that's just fine. I know that you will still get some goodness from this class. Take the good and leave the bad. So that's the disclaimer. We also, and we're not your doctor, so we can't, prescribe or diagnose you, but we can tell you what we have experienced with our oils and our own stories. Please use the chat. If you want to, use the chat. It's very fun. We've already got people in there talking about how they, boost their immune system. So we love the chat. Gives us a feel of more community and togetherness, which we very much appreciate. Also, if you have a question that you don't want everybody to see where the question came from, but you really hope that we answer it, we love questions because then we know we're being useful. Like we want to be useful, right? We want you to get something good out of this. So please ask your questions, but there's a cool little feature in this webinar thing where you can go down to the bottom and press the Q&A button. And you can ask an anonymous question. I think we'll still see who it was that asked the question as the hosts, but nobody else will, and we won't share your name. That's, it can be private. So if you have a question, and also it might just be a better bet for us to see the question if the chat is hopping, if you just do the Q&A feature. So there's that. And then we have a very special thing happening tonight. So we are going to teach compliantly, which means that we're just being obedient to what Young Living and the FDA has asked us to stay within parameters of not naming certain ailments and just being really like kind of generic about our education. You'll still get some good stuff from it and you'll kind of understand what we're saying. That's the first half of this class. And then the back end, we are actually going to stop recording and give you the non-compliant, some like tidbits that we can't really say on social media or on the internets. So stick around after we're done with the first part, because the real juicy stuff happens afterward. But you're still going to learn a lot on the first one. I think that's everything. Oh, except that right now, if you're watching this live or in September 2022, there is a group on Facebook. It's open for all Team Young Living, so any Young Living people. And it's called Wellness and Purpose YL Monthly Challenge. And it is a chat right now, like I think it's just this week. There's a challenge and education going on about this particular kit, the Golden Touch One kit. So that's really fun. And we're going to give you some good information tonight, but when you go through and read those posts that they are putting in that group, they are meaty and they are real good. So if you have a craving for more information, more education, go there. And then also I'm supposed to tell you why I have heard this kit is called the Golden Touch Kit, because there's like no oils in here called golden anything, or like we don't have a reason why it's called this, except that when I was listening to somebody teach on this in preparation for this course, they were kind of like, oh yeah, I heard what it's about or why it's called that. It's kind of a play on words or a play on the phrase, like a mother's touch. And they didn't want to put golden touch in there or mother in there, I guess, because it can be for anybody, that would be kind of like too narrowing. So Gary called it the Golden Touch Kit because a mother's touch is golden. And this is like a kit of oil. I thought that was precious. I was like, okay, this is a kit of oils for you to take care of your family, to take care of your own body, but to take care of your family. And you will see that all throughout this class. So Mother's Touch Kit, Golden Touch Kit, whatever. I don't know what the one is about, except that I think that there were 2 at one point. weren't there, Jamie? Do you?
I've heard that.
Yeah. And so whatever. I mean, there's only one. So don't go looking for number 2 or 3 because there's only one, and it is Golden Touch one.
The one and only.
There's one only. So, oh, and also, so these 7 oils come together in this beautiful little kit. Jamie, do you have the box? Does anybody have the box? I don't have the box.
It's orange. It's real pretty.
It's in a pretty orange kit with like
Have it?
a pretty picture on it. Anyway, and they come, what I'm going to be showing you tonight is a big version of it. They come in little 5 ml oil bottles, and a 5 ml oil. There you go. Christy's got them. A 5 ml oil bottle has about, oh, there it is.
I do have it.
Has about 90 drops. Do you guys say about
Yeah.
90-ish drops of oil in there? So you are going to get a lot of mileage out of these. Okay. Oils go a long way, just a little oil. And the price of the kit is $103.75, but you would be paying, there it is.
Get all that.
Paying over 140 to individually buy all of these oils. So you're getting a really good little deal there. Okay. We're going to just go through the oils now.
Okay. I totally forgot. Okay. So first of all, this is the first thing I bought after my starter kit because it had Thieves, Digize, RC, and those were in the starter kit that I used them a lot. And so when I knew I needed to kind of like replenish, I was like, well, this makes a lot of sense. Plus then I get to try 4 new oils. So I was excited about that, and it's a great price. So this was actually the first thing I ordered, and I love that they call it the gold, like the mother's touch. I think that's amazing. Because guess why I bought oils in the first place? Because my kids. Because we were constantly trying to figure out how to stay healthy. Okay, so first things first, you'll notice in the box that there are some white and there are some red. So if you've been around for a while, you already know this, but like, for instance, let me grab my Endoflex out of here. Well, this is my Endoflex. It's a bigger size. And it's in a red label. The white and red, they're identical oils. It's the same oil in both bottles. So just keep that in mind. However, when you are sharing compliantly and talking on the internet about things, they want you to use the white labels when you're talking about using things internally. Now, of course, internal stuff you can also put on the external, no big deal. But if you told someone an external oil to put on the internal, people think you're trying to poison them or something. I don't know. It's the FDA. They got their own way of thinking. But it's the same oil in both, all right? So, okay, so Digize is the first one that we're going to talk about, or that I'm going to talk about. So Digize has, listen to the oils in it, okay? Because this, even if you know nothing about oils, you probably have heard the names of some of these herbs, I guess. And okay, so tarragon, ginger, peppermint, juniper, fennel, lemongrass, anise, and patchouli. Okay, so that's what's in here. And so the Young Living website says it has an herbaceous, spicy aroma. I will say this took a while to get used to the smell because it's very potent, kind of reminds me of black licorice. But you guys, it is the freaking best oil ever. I cannot stress it enough. And now that I've been using oils for so long, I really don't even mind the smell anymore. When I did mind it, I would just throw some peppermint over the top if I used it topically, kind of a thing. So, because that would just kind of calm the smell down. Okay. So the website also says it's soothing when used topically as part of an abdominal massage. All right, well, that's true. Okay, especially if your abdomen needs some calming. All right, so, and soothing, wonderful for that. All right, it includes peppermint vitality, which is known to support gastrointestinal function. All right, it's cleansing and soothing to your digestive system, and it contains antioxidants. Win-win. All right, so that's kind of like what's in it. So now let's just talk for a second. Okay, so obviously it's for your stomach, it's for your gut, however you want to say that. I always thought gut just sounded like such an ugly word. Just saying. I'm like, ooh, my gut. All right. But really, gut health is the thing. Okay. Your immune system is 75% housed in your gut, essentially. So if your gut health is going well, then your overall immune system is probably going well. So that's just something to keep in mind. So supporting stomach health. Now, I'm anything from, I mean, am I allowed to say these things? The normal thing, upset stuff that we all kind of know about with stomachs, but then also think about like a nervous stomach. Like let's say you have to publicly speak or you're going somewhere new and you're completely stressed out. This helps calm your stomach that way too. So there's lots of ways that it calms things down. And along the same lines of calming your gut down, you guys, it's actually another thing I would recommend doing is put it on your chest underneath the, what's the thing? The thieves chest rub. Okay. Wonderful for calming that area down as well, honestly. I actually, I'm going to save this for the after call. I have another thing to tell you that's so cool about this oil, and I'm excited I learned it today. Okay, so DiGize, I cannot say enough good about it. A couple other little random tips. If you make your, like if you use the Thieves laundry soap, add DiGize in to your whatever concoction, or just add it into your laundry because it cuts grease and breaks things down, which is really great. I know somebody who uses it, like when their husband's like been out working in the car, he'll use DiGize to break the grease down off of his hands. So kind of a cool thing too. So you can take the Vitality, you can put it in a capsule under your tongue, throw it in a glass of water. If you put it under your tongue, you're less likely to taste it as strongly. So because it is under your taste buds. So that's called sublingually. And obviously if you throw it in a capsule, I always like to put a little carrier oil in too, because then that kind of calms down like how it settles on your stomach. Although all it does is bring relief and amazingness. So cannot say enough good about DiGize. Okay. Then the next oil.
I always like to mention whether it's safe for kids or not. And that one is safe and recommended for kids for sure.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. There is a Tummy Jize, a kid's pre-diluted that smells a little different, but has a lot of the same oils in it. But we just go straight for the DiGize when someone's really needing support, honestly, because it works so good. It works so good. Okay, so Endoflex is the next one here. Okay, so what did okay. So Endoflex, again, it has an herbaceous flavor, right? But it actually kind of minty. It's really nice. So it's, okay, so this is to give you a few clues of ways you can use it. This is from the Young Living website. It says it can be used in conjunction with Endogize and Thyromin. Okay, so endo, that's your endocrine system. Thyromin, that's your thyroid. All right, an excellent addition to Mineral Essence, Master Formula, Super B, and multigreens. What do all those have in common? First of all, replenishing your body with things it needs, but also energy. All right. So when you look at this, think energy, think supporting your endocrine system and your adrenals, all of that kind of stuff. All right. So something else I was going to read. Okay. So it has, let me tell you what's in it. It has spearmint, which is a rocket pack for your metabolism while supporting your nervous system. Okay, so it brings a lot of balance. That's what spearmint is good for. Sage is commonly used for purification, physically and emotionally. Geranium, that's a great way to say I love you to your hormones. Okay, and your liver and your pancreas. All right, so lots of beautiful things in geranium for your body. Myrtle has thyroid written all over it, right? German chamomile, very calming. I mean, I think we all know chamomile, but German chamomile is really quite calming, good for your liver. Nutmeg is awesome for your adrenals, so supportive of your adrenals, like honestly. So Endoflex is if you have an endocrine system, which we all do, and by the way, you don't magically get like gifted an endocrine system when you turn 13 or something. Like little kids have endocrine systems. And if you've gone through menopause, guess what? You still have an endocrine system too. So this is not just for supporting the people in those age ranges. Like if you have kids who you're dealing with a lot of big moods, there's probably stuff going on in their body, right? So this is a great one to reach for. My kids have been using it for years. They put it over their thyroid, and Judah diffuses it. They haven't used it internally at this point, but they probably will at some point. So love those two oils. Was very excited to share about them tonight because we literally use them almost every day in my house. So, all right.
Yeah, these oils, you're definitely going to use them, all of them. They're so useful for a lot of different things. Okay, I want to piggyback on your EndoFlex talk for just a second, because I was listening to some people talk about these oils today so that I could like get jazzed and ready to talk about them. And EndoFlex had so much I can talk about. So especially about kids. This goes for adults as well, but kids, you always just, when we say hormones, everybody goes to like PMS, you just think about a woman in her hormone time. No, everybody has hormones, and this is for all ages. It's for all, all the hormone makeups, all the types. Okay. Over the thyroid is a really good place to put it. Like Jamie was saying, this is a daily use oil. This is a daily balancer. So this is not like, oh, I feel a little off. I mean, you could, and it will work, but really to keep yourself balanced, EndoFlex every day. So over the thyroid is enough. You could put it on your feet too if you want to, but for little kids, it's like a tantrum tamer. Kids that are dealing with like explosive emotions or stressed out, or there's a big change happening and they're just not hanging, they're just not dealing well with it. EndoFlex is kind of a lifesaver for moms. I actually just heard a mom say that it totally changed the atmosphere of her home with her 12-year-old daughter, because it was like, what has just like a switch just flipped and she's not her normal self. She was angry, kind of snotty about stuff. And she was like, something's going on. And she started using this. She would just give her daughter the bottle and said, put it on. And she did. And she said within a day, it was like, she was back. So she's like, she has to use it all the time because it's just balancing and evening out those hormones. But a really good place to put it is on the lower back or the mid back for kids. That's just right over the adrenals, and it just helps with their mood, kind of their moodiness, and just helps them be happier. People also have put a drop of EndoFlex and a drop of JuvaFlex, 1 drop each, which Christy's going to talk about in a little bit, in their Ningxia Red every day, in their children's Ningxia Red at 5 years old and up. 1 a day. And they said that was when she said it changed the atmosphere of our home. I think that some of us will sign up for that. It's like, yes, please, can we change the atmosphere a little bit? Also, a cool thing about EndoFlex is that it's an adaptogen, and that just means that it changes with your body and it gives your body what it needs. And it's not like it is one size fits all. Actually, it's like truly one size fits all. You put it on and it does what your body needs perfectly. That's an adaptogen. Okay, sorry. I loved those testimonials. I love those. Jamie just put a recipe for taming emotions.
I found this when I was doing some research. It's Surrender, Orange, and EndoFlex, just equal parts. You can dilute it or not, whatever. But those 3, there's a bunch of people that swear by that. So I'm actually going to mix some of that up for my kids because I think they're
ready. You're ready. We're all ready. Okay, so I'm going to talk about a couple of oils that are some heavy hitters for just all the things that you run into in the fall and in the winter. So the first one I'm going to go for is Melrose. This is a blend of 4 different oils. It is a blend of Melaleuca alternifolia, which is just tea tree oil. It's just a great big mouthful. The second mouthful, I'm totally going to botch. I have no idea how to say this. It's Melaleuca quinquenervia, possibly. We're just going to call it Melaleuca Q. Okay. So it's 2 different kinds of Melaleucas in there. And those are kind of like, the whole thing's magic, but those 2 are the magic. And you'll see why in a minute. Rosemary and clove are the other 2 oils. So it smells very Melaleuca-y. It smells like tea tree oil with maybe a little bit more depth. This is a skin cleansing powerhouse. So anything, just go there in your mind. Think about the things that your kids come into contact with on their skin in the fall and that you want to address naturally. Okay. It's for all the things. You put it right on the area of the skin that is afflicted with any kind of anything. And it is a cleanser. So it cleanses, it relaxes that area, and it usually takes care of the root cause, whatever the problem is. Really, really great for a spot treatment for blemishes on the face because it dries things out and kind of like takes out all the toxins and cleans it. So it's great for teenagers, great for, I mean, anybody that's dealing with little spots on the face, right? Around the ears for cleansing the ears. So whenever there's like, you want to give extra attention to your ear health, this Melrose is what you want to use, and you can kind of massage in a downward way so that you're helping everything drain. That's a big one in the fall. Okay, and then the really cool thing about Melrose, you're going to have to like open up your mind here for a second. So we deal a lot with electromagnetic frequencies, more than any other generation or person in the world has ever had to deal with. We are dealing with them constantly. Electromagnetic frequencies are like little tiny microwave radiations all over the place. And they come from the internet. They come from our TVs. They come from our phones. They come from our computers. It comes from the microwave that we use all the time. And it's really, really powerful when you're in the air in an airplane. Okay. So EMFs are a big deal and they stress your body out. It's not like they're making us feel sick all the time. It's just extra stress. And then it just lowers our immune system and our ability to deal with all the other things that happen. And we're just not the healthiest when we're being bombarded by all of that. So in addition to normal things, which is like, if you can remember, how do we have no discipline to turn off our routers at nighttime? I don't know what, like, why is that the hardest thing I've ever tried to do in my life? You should turn off your internet at night. I don't, because I can never remember to do it. But I really wish I did. So anyway, I need to get a timer on that. But using this, like, I mean, you can't bathe yourself in it. We wish we could. You can take a detox bath in it for so many different things, but for this too, for the EMF situation as well. But put it on the soles of your feet, put it on the back of your neck. Just get that on your body because your body just soaks all that in, and it's extra protection. It's called, Gary made this to prevent cellular damage. Okay. This prevents cellular damage. What a funny little oil. Like, I never would have guessed that tea tree was an oil that was going to prevent cellular damage. I just always thought it was a skin cleanser. Also, you can put it in the air, which would be amazing for the EMF. So you can diffuse it. It gets rid of odors. It gets rid of impurities in the air. And it's really great for the EMF thing. Oh, okay. Oh, Jamie. Okay. So she's figuring out the chat in there. Okay, so detox bath. Let me talk about that really quick. Detox baths are incredible. Use them all winter long. First of all, they're nice and warm, so that's great when you're cold. But they also, like, they envelop your body in all of this amazing oil magic. And also, if you use like the right additives, like if you're adding your oils to the right things, then you've got this detox happening with the oils and also with your carrier salts or whatever. So use magnesium salts or Epsom salts that are completely pure. I get mine on Amazon because for some reason at the grocery store, all I can find is like lavender Epsom salts. And those are probably synthetic lavender. And I just don't want that. Like, why would I do that? So I buy giant 20-pound bags of Epsom salts from Amazon and just go to town with those. So I do like 4 cups. I have a big bathtub. So I do 4 cups of Epsom salt and a couple of cups of baking soda, aluminum-free baking soda, which I also get in a big old tub on Amazon as well. And then you just add your oils to it. So don't add your oils to the bath, add your oils to the Epsom salts. Okay. And then stir them around so that they kind of like cling to those little salts, and then they can dissolve in the bath really, really easy. They emulsify in there a lot easier. Rule of thumb with how much oil you want: a little or a lot. I don't even know. I don't care. Just do what you want. Just do what you want to do. I don't know. I'll go for 10, 15 drops of oil because I use oils all the time and I'm fine. Now with my kids, I'll do like maybe 5 to 8 drops of oil in a pretty big bathtub. So you can go with that little rule of thumb. It's not even a rule. It's just whatever you want to do. And oils that I love to use are any of the oils we're talking about tonight, right, girls? Like, any of them. Thieves, which I'm about to talk about, is really great. Clove is my favorite detoxer, but clove is in Thieves and Melrose, what we just talked about. Frankincense is always good, but we're not talking about that tonight. So That is Melrose. Put it in your detox bath. Yeah, Melrose is not this. No, Melrose is not in a Vitality, right? It's just a regular oil. Okay. So then I won't say the one thing I was going to say until we stop this. Okay. So Thieves is the next oil. If you have been around Young Living or the oil world at all, Thieves is the original immune system powerhouse that we all love so much. I almost feel like I don't need to teach a class on it, but what if somebody doesn't know? So I better just teach the class on it. So Thieves is an oil blend. I'm going to tell you why it's called Thieves real fast, because it's, maybe you don't know, because it's a kind of a weird story. It's got clove, lemon, cinnamon bark, eucalyptus radiata, and rosemary. These are oils that used to be used in the 1600s. Okay, in the 1600s, there was the Black Plague, right? We all remember that, guys. We were all there and we remember that was terrible. No, that was 2020. But okay, but the Black Plague happened in the 1600s. And there was this group of guys that would go around and steal things from the dead and the dying. And usually if you were going to steal something from the dead and the dying, you would contract the plague and you would die as well. Well, these men didn't die. Thank you, Elisa, for the laughs. These men didn't die. And when they got caught, the authorities were like, why didn't these guys die? They need to tell us their secret. This was their secret. They were actually really trained in, I think they were like apothecary owner guys. And they were trained in herbalism. Herbalism, is that a word? Cannibalism. I don't know. They were trained in herbs and they knew that these herbs were going to protect them. So they would make a poultice, or like they would smush them all up and they put them in their masks. Okay. While they were doing their dirty work, and they did not contract the disease. So Gary heard this. Gary Young, who's our founder and the genius behind all these oils, he heard this story and was like, I can make an oil like that. So he used the oils that the aromatics that they used. So that's the story behind Thieves. Now you know, if you didn't know before. And here's how we're going to use it. So you can put it in your mask if you would like to. You can just drop a couple drops and it'll keep everything clean. But this is your constant defense against illness. So remember what I said about Endoflex, that this is what you use daily, like to just keep yourself balanced. Thieves is another one that you use daily. It's not like, oh, we just grab Thieves when suddenly we're feeling ill or whatever. It's every day, because it builds you up and it keeps you built up. It keeps your defenses strong. So we use it daily, especially, I was just telling Christy, like, I haven't broken all of these oils out yet for the fall because I really go heavy on them in the fall. We use them daily on the feet in the fall and the winter. And the spring, in the spring, whatever. We diffuse them every day because it cleanses the air and it cleanses all the surfaces that the air touches. So that's a really great way to keep everything clean in the home. I love to use it underneath my tongue. My husband, that's like his signature move, like just under the tongue whenever he's feeling gross, and he forces it on our children as well. It's just precious in our home.
Do you know the first time I ever used Thieves was way before I bought oils? And it was because my brother, who she's married to, someone had given him a bottle or something.
It was this old bottle of Thieves that we had for about 4 or 5 years.
Then I had it in a cabinet for another 4 or 5 years. And by the way, I did.
He gave it to you?
Yeah, he gave it to me after he told me to just put some in my mouth.
Just put it. It's just a little spicy. And when you're not used to oils, it was much. It was a lot.
Breath away.
It was like his party trick. Little did we know, 6 years later, it would be like our favorite thing in all the land. I thought it was the most ridiculous thing ever. I was like, no, stop with the cinnamon ouchiness. Just stop. Yes. Okay. So I'm pretty sure that was such an old bottle. It had like a signature of Gary Young on it or something.
It did.
It was so old. Oh, I wish we had that. Okay. Anyway. So under the tongue is a signature move that you can do if you're really into it and desperate. It's really not that bad. It's just kind of cinnamony. And in tea, we love to make it like just hot water, a little bit of honey, your Thieves, and a little bit of lemon. If you want to put lemon oil in there, you could squeeze lemon in there. A couple of drops of Thieves will do it in a tea. And I love to use it on the spine. All of these oils can be used down the spine. The spine houses a lot of viral situations. Okay. Lots of icky stuff likes to live in the spine. So treat your spine with oils whenever you're feeling down. If you're going to travel, double up on your oils and just use a carrier oil for it. So like coconut oil or whatever while you do the massage down the spine. And I think that's all I've got on these, unless you guys have something else to add.
Nope. Awesome.
Hey, Christy's going to talk about it.
All right, so I'm going to start with Juva Flex. This is probably an oil blend that is lesser known to you. It was to me for a long time, but incredibly significant for particularly the liver. So where Jamie talked about EndoFlex and endocrine system and thyroid. Oh my gosh, you guys are laughing about something Jessie Lynn said. Okay, I'm just gonna keep on moving. And Juvaflex is for liver and lymphatic detoxification. So if we're talking about health and wellness throughout the fall, winter months, we have to include liver detoxification and lymph system detoxification. Okay, so that's what your Juvaflex is all about. What is this lymph system? We have lymph all over our body, and the lymph literally cleans almost every one of our body's cells. So it's an incredibly important system to support. When you have chronic lymph blockage, you'll feel icky. Okay, and so lymph drainage is a very, very, very important thing, and your body wants to do it naturally. Movement and activity and all of those things naturally drain your lymph system. It is the only system that doesn't actually drain itself. It needs activity, it needs massage, it needs movement, and it needs oils. And so Juvaflex is awesome for it. If you have lymph blockage, you're just congested, your lymph system is congested, your allergies will be worse, you'll have headaches, lots of joint pain and arthritis is connected to the lymph system congestion. Again, subject to colds and flus more often. So many things, you guys: sinusitis, acne, cellulite, fatigue, if your lymph system is not drained. Lots of mental fuzziness, depression, mood stuff. So super important system to take care of. Juvaflex is your oil for that. So you can do lymphatic massage. I actually, one in particular that I like, just because I tend to develop some of that like lymph right up here, is you have these lymph nodes behind the ears, right? So if you just gently like press in and put pressure with the oil and then move it down your neck and to the collarbone, and even tapping on the collarbone just moves the lymph down. So that's one of the massages you can do, but you can go online and look for lymphatic massage tips. There's so many videos, you guys. So Juvaflex for lymphatic drainage, but also liver, huge oil blend for liver detoxification and supporting the liver and all the things it does for us. You guys, our liver is our detox hero. The things that our liver does for us, like if we actually knew what our liver did for us on a daily basis, we would be singing praises all day long, right? So support the liver, Juvaflex. So massaging over the liver, super helpful. Juvaflex has fennel, which if you look at any of these single oils in your guide, if you don't have a guide, definitely get your guide. Fennel, stimulating to the circulatory system, increases bile flow. Fennel is in Juvaflex, all the Juvas. So there's the EndoFlex, right? And then there's the Juvaflex. Whenever you hear the word Juva, think liver, think, lymphatic drainage, detoxification. So we have other products that have Juva powder. Juva Power is a powder. Juva Power is an herbal powder that you can drink straight. You can add it to smoothies. Does not taste the best, but is so good. It will often come up on Owen's iTovi scans, all the juvas come up on Owen's iTovi scans from a pretty young age. And it made sense to me after I got into the oils. So before I got into the oils, Owen was very, very sensitive and reacted very strongly to dyes in candy, particularly like reds and blues. Like he would be just aggressive and angry after having some dyes. So there were some clues. And also he had a dramatic response to exposure to black mold. He didn't detoxify it well at all. So Owen has a sensitivity in the area of not being able to detoxify things like maybe I do, right? And so the Juvas come up for him a lot, and we got the Juva power for him. He will down that supplement. When he's not doing his Juva protocol, his allergies are worse. He is a little bit more irritated and edgy, and he can't quite slow down. So we've got that, that kind of agitation that is always under the surface. And so your Juvas, so the Juva Flex that we're talking about in the Golden Touch kit is awesome for when you've got kiddos. Again, pair it with the Endoflex. So, I mean, similar responses in kids when they've got the thyroid and adrenal stuff going on, but also when they've got liver congestion, or their lymph system is congested, you're going to see the irritation. You're going to see, like they're impatient. They lash out, maybe more anger. So one of the things that you'll hear a lot in kind of natural circles is that anger is stored in the liver, but the emotion, anger, and liver definitely have, what am I trying to say? When you have anger, it affects the liver. Other emotions, you guys, that come up in my emotion book, for under JuvaFlex, if you are feeling blame, unappreciated, deprived, feeling of being unsupported, rebelling against or resenting authority. So any of those kind of like aggressive, angry emotions is maybe a clue that you need a little bit of support or a lot of support for your liver. So again, how many? Five oils in JuvaFlex: fennel, geranium, rosemary, Roman chamomile, blue tansy, and helichrysum, which are all so cleansing to the liver. That's the beauty of these oil blends. You guys, you could not get the power of JuvaFlex the power of JuvaFlex has 5 amazing oils for liver detoxification. I would not want to go to the store and buy 5 oils. Like, that's the beauty of our blends. They're just so powerful. The synergistic properties in these blends is so much more powerful than just doing one oil that might be helping, the liver. So how to use it. So JuvaFlex does come in the Vitality, and I think it does come, it's the Vitality in the kit, isn't it, Jamie? I have never put this in my beverage. So Ashley, when you brought that up, that's awesome. So liver support right in the Ningxia, if the kiddos will drink it in the Ningxia along with Endoflex, right? That would be amazing. But I have used this primarily topically. So, kiddos dealing with anger, or yourself, right? Mama or dad dealing with anger, or just knowing that through the winter months, you need some of that drainage, that detoxification because of all the festivities, the holidays, the things we eat, all the things. And then just like sometimes the emotions and all that. So I will massage this right over my liver regularly, or doing the detox bath that Ashley mentioned. I'm so glad she walked through that. So putting it in the Epsom salts and bathing in the JuvaFlex is awesome. It's a beautiful color, isn't it? Because it's got that blue tansy in it. So yes, topically, internally, this is also one you could do sublingually right under the tongue. What else did I want to say about that? Oh, pair your JuvaFlex with like going to the trampoline park. So for your kids, because trampoline parks are amazing for lymphatic drainage and for detoxifying the lymphatic system, which is so good for your kids during especially the fall and winter months, right? So put on some Juvaflex over their liver, maybe on some of the lymph nodes, and let them be active, because that's going to keep that lymphatic system drained. And that's so, so good for them. Okay. I think I can move on to RC, which is, boy, I want to say RC works the best for me. We have several oils that are supportive to the respiratory system, right? We have Breathe Again, we have Raven, they have their own benefits, but RC is powerful. Gary formulated this oil back in the day and named it RC, Respiratory Comfort, right? Respiratory care. So this is definitely the one that is meant for that. It has 10 oils in it, you guys, a blend with 10 oils that are incredibly supportive to the respiratory system. And we know how important that is during fall and winter, right? Coming home from school and you're just like, yep, I need to slap some RC on this kid, right? So all the things that are respiratory, when you're feeling just a little bit of that, tightness, right? Would be awesome. So this oil you would want to, it is not a Vitality. So this is not one that you take internally. This is a diffusing oil. This is a topical oil. So, I mean, diffusing this one, especially during, honestly, diffusing this one pretty regularly, even in your kiddo's bedroom, like before bed, is an awesome way to kind of keep them clear. Putting it on, like you would put on the rubs, right? Putting it on your chest or creating a rub with RC if you want to put it in coconut oil or whatever, creating a rub for your kiddos, putting it on the bottoms of the feet, all the places. So all of the oils that are super, super good for the respiratory system. Also, I wanted to mention emotional. So anytime you have an oil that is great for the respiratory system, you can use this emotionally, like when we're just kind of feeling like we can't breathe. So feelings of overwhelm, feelings of like you don't have a voice, or feelings like, so it would be even like the kiddos, if they're having a hard time with kids at school that are maybe more assertive than they are, or they're having a hard time with giving a presentation. My kiddos reached a certain point where they needed to give presentations and they needed to use their voice, and we used RC and Breathe Again just to like open them up so that they could breathe. Or in times when you feel like those anxious, worrisome feelings, right? And that affects how you breathe. You just kind of feel like you can't breathe, so any of these oils, RC in particular, amazing for this emotional release of some of, that tightness in the chest, whether it's from, physical or emotional. Okay. So any questions about that, or anything you guys wanted to add about either of those oils?
I'd also heard it's really great for runners and people who work out a lot, like putting it on your chest because it helps oxygenate or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it has Eucalyptus citrodora. It has cypress, which is amazing for opening. It has Eucalyptus radiata. It has peppermint, and it has Eucalyptus globulus, right? So it has 3 eucalyptus: the myrtle, marjoram pine, lavender cypress, spruce. So all of the things that are opening, all of the oils that are really opening. That's a really good tip.
In the comments, if people can't see the comments or the chat, we're all like, this is the best smelling oil in the whole kit.
Oh gosh.
That's kind of our consensus. It smells so good. It's comforting.
It is.
Homey, but it's like, but it's also light and clean.
Fresh.
So
Very fresh. Yes.
Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah. Okay. I think that is all I have for those. Did I say diffuse, put in a bowl of steamy water, if you need to breathe it in. Oh, inhalers. This one would be great in an inhaler. You can buy the inhalers on Amazon. Just look for aromatherapy inhaler. It comes with a little wick inside of this tube, and you literally breathe it in. Like you can go to the store and over the counter, they have the chemical versions of the inhalers, right? This would make a great natural inhaler.
I love those yummy respiratory oils on my scarf in the wintertime. And I just like pull my
Oh.
scarf up to my face, and just bury my face in it. So
That is an awesome tip. On the pillowcase at
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yum.
So-
Okay. Is there another oil? Is there
Yeah,
Raven?
Raven. I thought, was someone doing Raven?
I don't think so.
I don't have the Raven. I don't have it in my notes, but I can tell you guys
Oh
about
my
it.
gosh.
Jamie, do you want to tell about it?
I have it right here in my page because I had RC. So Raven, Raven is, so we'll have to talk about this after a little bit more,
Yeah.
but Raven is kind of like,
Well, it's got Raven Sarah in it.
it has
why
separate,
it's
has
named
different
that.
oils than RC. So Raven Sarah, which let's see if I can say any of this in this thing here. Again, very opening in a different way. Lemon, okay, so it includes lemon, which RC does not have lemon. And we know that lemon promotes immune system boost. Right? Promotes antioxidant activity. Wintergreen. So this is separate from RC as well. It has wintergreen, which is kind of like stronger than peppermint, right? I love the smell of Raven too. It also has peppermint. So it has peppermint with wintergreen both, and eucalyptus radiata. So Raven, I would say, would be one that you would want to probably use RC instead of Raven on smaller kiddos, just because the peppermint and wintergreen together and eucalyptus can be powerful. So I would say this one is maybe a little bit more powerful than RC. I don't know. What would you guys say about it?
Well, what can I say about it?
No, we can talk about it
Tricky part.
later.
Yep.
It
So
is-
lot-
I do
let's
think it
just
is more
say-
powerful.
A lot of the things that you used RC, like you talked about for RC, like just think when you need something like next level,
yes,
go to this.
right.
That's probably the safest way I could say it.
Yeah.
Yep. And yeah, childproof cap, Elisa just
yep.
said, and that is because of the wintergreen in there. But yeah, it's just a next level up. I always go to RC. I do Raven if we really need it, you know what I'm saying? But I always go to RC first because I like the smell of it better. Raven smells great. I just don't love wintergreen. It's like my personal preference. I don't love wintergreen smell. So that's the only reason I don't use it all the time.
Yep.
But yeah. Okay. Do we have anything else? Should I
No.
wrap this up?
Yeah.
Okay, so stick around, people, if you want to hear a little bit more on the stories. We won't go super long. We'll just kind of rapid fire at you some stuff. But for right now, we're just going to close out this class. Get in touch if you don't have oils yet and somebody invited you that's here, or you're watching this back and somebody invited you to watch it. Get in touch with the person who invited you to watch this, and they will help you get your oil. Like all these specific blends, you're not going to find these at a grocery store or anything. So you're going to need to get them from Young Living, and they'll help you get those. You can contact us if you have questions, but you'll get with the person who invited you in the first place because they're the one with the hookup. And then there was one last thing. Oh, our next class that's coming up that's for everybody is October 3rd. So it's another Monday night. Every Monday night we get together, you guys. Okay. Every Monday night, just put it on your
Unless
calendar,
there's a
unless it's like a
holiday.
holiday. Yeah. Holidays, no, but other than that. So our next one together, that's not a business one. Our next one is business. The next one is October 3rd, and it's going to be Ningxia Red night. So we're going to just be talking all the good things Ningxia Red, which is our easy button for health. And put your order in for Ningxia Red for October, because Young Living is doing one of those challenges. It's all Ningxia Red in October. So the challenge we just talked about tonight, we switch over to Ningxia Red in October, and it'll be really fun. I think that's everything. Did I miss anything, guys? Okay.
Awesome. Thank you for coming,
Hey,
guys.
guys.